Hello everyone, I am Plankara. Today we're going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. Still got a lot more meshing to do, and I think my brain is allowing for it, so I'm just going to keep doing that. Trying to remember where I left off last time. I think I'd finished this. And then it was just time to go do the belts. So, I guess I'll go do that. I think this is going to be a 3-row mesh with a little bit of extra over there. And down here too, I guess. I didn't separate the back on this side. Oh, well that should be okay. I don't expect this area to move that much. But if I need to make that separation, I can always make that change a little bit later. I'll just go ahead and wrap all this up. And some triangles. And then I'll just head on down. I expect this area to be comparatively simple compared to the rest of the coat, just because, well, there's not much to belts. Belts tend to be pretty straightforward. They're just straight lines. Typically I can do it in 3 or 4 lines. Lines of dots, that is. Those kinds of little structures tend to be very straightforward. That should be a nice shoot. Am I gonna do that? Nope. I accidentally hit the auto mesh button. Deeply unfortunate. Unfortunately, you cannot undo that, so that just means I have to do it again. Well, like I said, it's not very hard. So I'll just go and do all those dots again. No big deal. Stuff happens sometimes, man. It's all good. Okay. So yes, just bring it around the top again, and back to everything I was doing before. But yes, I do expect today to be comparatively easy compared to yesterday, when I had a couple of those really big, detailed meshes I needed to do. Probably keep going top to bottom, so we'll probably end up with something hard today too, because I think the next group down is going to be like the arms and shirt and stuff. And I think those will probably end up being pretty tricky. I'll have a lot of parts that aren't too bad, but I know that around the shirt especially, there's like a lot of folds and stuff like that that I'll want to capture, so. But here I am, thinking about what I'm probably going to be doing quite a long time from now. But to be fair to me, that's just because belts are very straightforward, and there's not a lot else to think about. Alright, now I think I want to transition to 3 rows here. Because I don't think I can fit a 3rd row in that tiny little spot up there, but in this part, yes. Oh, that's interesting. I thought I separated that. I guess I didn't. No, that actually does not seem right. Let me check. I guess I didn't. Okay. I guess I didn't. That's okay. I'm a little surprised, just because this is so flippy. Maybe I intended to, and just thought I did, but never actually did. We'll see if I want to fix that later or not. This is the kind of things where it's going to be lower body physics and I'm just not focusing as much on details in the lower body. So I'll probably wait to see, you know, once I get most of the important stuff done, how much more work I would have put into the rest of it. Because I do feel like in a lot of rigging projects like this, you can basically go on forever. You can just keep tweaking it and working on it for all eternity. So it's going to be more that it's done when I decide that it's doing the stuff that I wanted to do and I'm just kind of done working on it. So I'll see how I feel closer to the end. I just want to keep pushing some more detail onto it, or I just want to call it good. As always, I'm just trying to keep the triangles fairly straight here. Trying to keep the two sides coming off the bottom there roughly the same size. And roughly the same angle. It makes it a little bit easier to deform things later. Alright, we're at the bottom here. Didn't take that long at all. This is why I say it's kind of nice to have something not too difficult to work on after everything yesterday. So boy, were some of those big. And after I eliminate some straight lines here, that'll be a couple all done. My goal for today is to finish off all the coat parts, including the back. And I don't think that'll be much trouble. The back of the coat is probably going to be the biggest part. But a lot of the other stuff associated with the back, like the extra shadows and stuff, are all just basically nonsense. So the mesh can be equally nonsense, and it'll be fine. Nothing too difficult. Ah, I see. I split it off here. I guess that makes sense. This one I think I will do 4 rows. I think it just makes more sense for the shape. It's not long. And it's got that thick part up at the top that I think would be hard to do with only 3. So, we'll just surround the whole thing. Just go all the way around. Round and round the art we go. Sometimes I still think about how I want certain things to look once they're moving. It's all pretty hard to describe, as you might imagine. So I don't talk about it much, but I do think about it a lot. I'll put a few extra triangles around the light here. But otherwise, I don't think it needs that much. It's all pretty straightforward. Alright, then we just gotta go around one more time and that'll be another one. All done. We're going fast today. Makes me happy. My brain has been getting a little bit tired of meshing, so we'll see how much longer it can go before it's just like, nah, I need a break from making triangles. I'm starting to see triangles in my dream. Please make it stop. But so far I think it's doing okay. I think I've probably got a little bit more in me. Hopefully it'll be enough to get to the end, but if it's not, you know, that's okay. I can take a break for a couple of days. Do some blinks. Or some other basic stuff. And just refresh my brain. The more tedious parts. I do like getting them done early because it means they're just done forever, but like, you gotta work with your brain sometimes. It's like sometimes it seems like it's fighting you, but I promise it's there for you. It's doing its best. Brains are just kind of silly sometimes. That's okay to work with it a little bit sometimes too, especially when you've been very diligently doing everything you need to do. And sometimes it's like, I don't want to make an army of triangles today. But I think for today, my brain is okay with making more triangles. Let's do triangles forever. Forever and ever. This is kind of an interesting 3-row structure here, just because it's like several different 3-row structures converging on each other. And I haven't had to do something like that before, so I think it's kind of neat. You can see that there's like the one going across here, then the one going down here, and then the one going down here. So there's like 4 different ones. All coming together to make this one. I think it's kind of neat. Alright. It looks a little funny, but I think that's actually pretty good. And I don't think this little guy needs a mesh. Alright, so I think that's everything there. Let's do the back of the coat. Excuse me while I internally scream for a little bit. Okay. Just needed to take a deep breath there. Let's go in. I'm gonna start with the edge. So unfortunately, it's not quite symmetrical, so I can't just use my symmetrical mesh maker. I gotta go all the way around this massive thing. It's okay, I believe in me. We got this, brain. Just please, hand, don't hit the auto mesh button again. So I can kind of see how the structure this is going to go. The light parts are pretty straightforward. It's just big. Just big, and I mean, the back of the coat is super floppy, so I want to have lots of room to be able to do cool physics stuff with it. Oh man, I just look forward to showing off physics so much because physics just make everything better. Just makes it so much more fun. So much more lively. We gotta get everything going first. It's like I imagine it's hard to see, but I have like 50 million particle effects in my model's eyes, so like every time I blink and move my eyes around, it's like all the stars and stuff in them are moving, and that wasn't how it was when I was first working on it, naturally, because, you know, I have to tell the computer what to do, but just get rid of that one. There we go. I think I put them a little bit too close together there, but now it's better. But yeah, just the difference it made once I added them. It was pretty good. I also really like the physics on the hair. They're very simple, probably much simpler than what I'm gonna do for this model, because this model has a lot more hair, but I still really like them. Just being able to kind of react to movements happening around them. Someday I might show off the full body model, but that day is not today. That said, even though I don't really use the lower half very much, actually I don't think I've ever used the lower half, I'm so glad I rigged it. It was a good learning experience, even if it was kind of a pain. Oh, and the dress physics were very fun. My dress is very floofy. Any of you have ever scrolled through my Twitter feed to find my full model art and concept and all that stuff? I had so much fun designing it. Deciding what your virtual self looks like is a very special experience. I went through several iterations. One of them was much more purple, because I like purple. One of my original designs, the eyes were actually purple, but I decided on orange for reasons. Most of them silly, that nobody but me will ever understand. I'm realizing here that I put a lot of these dots a little bit too far away from the side, I think, so I'm kind of moving them back toward the edge as I go. I can stand to do that up here too. The vertices in Inochi2D are kind of big, so it can be hard to tell exactly where they are sometimes. That's okay. That's where zooming in helps a little bit. But I also kind of like staying zoomed out, especially on big areas like this, because I don't get quite as overwhelmed. Everything feels so much bigger when you're zoomed in, you know? It's like, oh man, I have to scroll around to actually see everything. It's huge. Almost done the first side. Okay, I knew what I was getting into. This is the big one. See if it's the only big one for today. Or if I end up just walking right into another big one. I'm a little bit worried about that because... well, that's probably what's gonna happen once I go work on the shirt. So just gotta move everything down. Get all these triangles in there. Really want to make sure that they reflect this little divot at the bottom there. Today's another one of those days where my nose is very itchy this morning. I think it's funny that my nose gets very itchy, but it very rarely actually wants to sneeze. Just wants me to scratch it. Bodies are weird. I swear they have no idea what's going on sometimes. Just, oh look. A tiny particle. Not that much unlike dust, but it comes from trees. Better freak out. Very silly. I'm actually pretty sure the stuff in dust is more harmful to the body than the stuff in pollen, but what can you do? Body's just one of those limitations we have to deal with. And as far as bodies go, I don't think mine is too bad. Okay, now most of the way back up this side. This one is proving to be less painful than the side of the coat was. So, that's good. Overall, the stuff on it is less detailed. And it doesn't show quite as much because most of it is, you know, covered up by the rest of the body. So it works out. I'm doing my best to keep these triangles straight because if I'm not careful, they will get skewed. Gotta pay attention. Can't let your brain get complacent. Alright. So now... should almost be there. Okay. That's at least the exterior done. I think I'm actually going to do the interior from the bottom here, and I think I'm going to do like a 3-row structure. Like I've been doing. Because it's like it's this light part that really matters. And the one on the other side as well. I'll probably have to put a few more dots down the middle just to make sure the shadows stay nice too, but I think for the most part, it's this little highlight that matters. Or this big highlight, as the case may be. gonna scooch him over a little bit up here. It looks like it moves a little bit more like this. And all the way up to the top. Yes, I think this looks good. Just wanted to double check it. So now I'll start putting the triangles on the sides. So yes, just a standard 3-dot structure in the middle of this big old cape. You can see I'm being a little bit less fine here because this is just a highlight that maybe not 100% blended, but it's still pretty thoroughly blended, I think. And so I don't think I need to be super particular about its movement. Just enough to kind of acknowledge that it's there. I think I got a little bit far away there, and you were fine where you were. There you go. Just clicked on the wrong dot there. So I'm curious, for anybody watching this or the VOD, have you downloaded the separated art that I have available so you can try it yourself? Yeah, just, let me know in the comments. Because I am curious to see if, what you guys make with it too. So definitely feel free to try it out. Upload it to your social media of choice, and post a link in the comments. Let me see what you're doing. If you got something else you want to show me, you can do that for anything too. Never hesitate to contact me on any social media platforms. I'll respond as best I can. I did make the separated files specifically to be used, so definitely go try it out if you're curious about this program or rigging in general. It's a lot of fun. I like it a lot. Like, I know I'm probably not making it look like a lot of fun right now because I have to do all the meshes still, but... And hey, if it makes you feel better, once I finish it, I'll probably, upload the finished version as well. That'll include all my parameters and stuff, but, you can always delete those, and just keep all the meshes, so you don't have to do that part. You can just do all the fun stuff without any of this boring stuff. It'll be great. But I have to finish it first. And I guess we'll see how these meshes hold up once I actually start making things move. That I also look forward to. It's kind of what keeps my brain going during some of the more mind-numbing parts. Oh, did this just not... Oh, that's deeply unfortunate. I wish I could just fix that here, because you can see this line didn't go straight like it should. It's like, I wish I could just fix that at this stage, but I can't do it until I bake the lines. And I don't have all the triangles that I want in here yet. I want another row to handle some of this color transition right through here. There's a little shadow that I'm putting triangles on top of right now. Looks like it's ended, but I think I'm just gonna keep going. Let's go all the way up. It's like I didn't make this area that fine, so won't be too bad. And I think I want another one. Let's see. How exactly? Because, like, I see a shape like this. It's a fairly subtle one, but I still see it, so I want to get some vertices around it like this. So I can move it nicely. Alright, just doing that to make it clear where those are. And then I still see a little bit more shadow around here. So I'll put a few more around here. We're getting to the point where I probably don't need to divide it that much anymore. I think I just want one more layer right over here. And then after that, I think it's probably pretty good. I might put some more in the middle just to clean up the lines a bit, but overall, I think it's about done. Here we go. Alright, well that wasn't too bad. They never really are. They're just kind of boring. Just gotta turn off my brain for a little bit to work on him. If you pay too much attention, it gets a little mind-numbing. Now I have to go clean up the extra lines, and that's always a bit tedious too. But don't worry, I consider meshing by far the worst part of rigging. Everything else is just so much more fun. Okay, that's all of those. I can tell there's one more here. Is there? Yeah. Some of them get pretty sneaky. Ooh. I'm definitely gonna have to go around the edge there. Make sure everything's pointing in the right direction. I already remembered that there's a few that were definitely not doing the right thing, so I remember seeing them as I was putting down the dots. I'll definitely have to go in there and fix all that once I finish cleaning up the edges here. Alright, I remember you. I was very sad that you were like that. Alright, I'm gonna go around the outer edge first. Just to make sure that all of them are following the edge here. That none of them got rotated and turned. There was already the one I fixed, but I need to make sure that there aren't any more. So far so good. Okay. Now I just want to make sure that all of these running up here are all good. It's looking alright. And it's looking like I found all the ones that weren't quite right there too, so there we go. And like I said, these are just nonsense, so I can basically treat the mesh like nonsense. As long as I have some ability to move it around to kind of reflect where everything is going to be, it should be fine. I managed to avoid having too many nonsense layers like this in this mesh, but sometimes, or not this mesh, but this model. But sometimes it can be a little bit hard to avoid. It's very unfortunate. I couldn't think of a way to make this all neater, because it had a very specific purpose. Just follow various body shadows. Alright. See? Nice and straightforward when you can just do pure nonsense and it's fine. Just leaving it as a square wouldn't have worked, but I think this is just fine. Just fine. These ones around here are kind of weird though. So, but I think a fairly basic 3-dot structure should be fine. Or 3 lines, I guess I should say. There's way more than 3 dots in this. Gotta keep my naming schemes consistent, so you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. And we're about there. Just need to go back and fix some of those lines after. Probably less important here, but I still want to make sure they're all good. Just because I don't know exactly how this is going to move, and I don't want it to be a pain. It's like I'm already doing meshes, I'm already suffering, so might as well embrace it and make the meshes really good, so I don't have to suffer later. And I will save my future self for once, instead of causing problems for her. Okay, exactly. Because I can tell some of these aren't needed. Yeah, this is about right. Lots of extra triangles here today. Just because there's a bunch of holes in the art here. Or the art is just super chaotic. Well, I guess the mesh is going to end up being a little chaotic too. That's just to be expected, you know? I missed a dot. There we go. No problem at all. I'll just clear out the excess triangles here. And then I think we'll be good. Just gonna make sure everything's going in the right direction here. All the usual stuff. I think I missed a dot here too. Let's go ahead and add him. There we go. These triangles are not very straight, so I'm gonna clean them up a bit, even though it's a nonsense mesh. It shouldn't be that messy. Treat the nonsense mesh with some respect. Just some. Okay, that should be good. Okay, at least these ones will be easier. Because here I can just do 2 3-line structures and call it good. That's definitely more than enough. And we can see what adventure we need to go on next, although I saw that there was a coat collar back that I still need to do too. I'm not actually sure if that area is going to need a mesh. Guess we'll see in probably a minute or two. Depending on how long it takes me to clean up all the excess triangles here, because there's 2 sides here, and I'm going to have to clean up all the triangles in between them. There we go. Almost there. At least ones like this are pretty easy. Not sure if I'd go as far as to say that they're kind of relaxing, but they're not too bad. They just make me a little sleepy. It's always funny. Sometimes I'm just working on stuff and feels like I almost fall asleep for a bit, and suddenly there's just a ton done, and I'm just like, whoa, when did I do this? Kind of incredible. For me, it happens a lot when I'm rendering. Just going around, making things neat and smooth. And then I look there and I'm just like, oh, it all just kind of happened. Nice. I was totally paying attention to something else. Okay. Fortunately, it looks like the auto-triangulate decided not to torture me too badly today. Appreciate it. Sometimes you can get a lot of lines going back and forth through there. And it's always a bit of an adventure. But this time it was merciful. Alright, looks like I got them all. Yep. Do you... yeah, I guess I should give you a little bit of a mesh. This one looks like 4, which is a little bit too thick at the top for 3. Comparatively, I should say. I'll just go round and round. And then it'll be good. This is the last part of the coat, and it hasn't even been an hour. Yeah, there we go. I was trying to make that triangle straight and my brain got confused as to where it was for a moment. That happens sometimes. Let's go all the way around again. So many circles. Sometimes I feel like lots of things go in circles. And I feel like I've been chasing my tail a bit sometimes. Just some things in life just seeming way harder than they need to be. Actually, no, this isn't good. This should be symmetrical. I wish I had noticed right before I finished putting down all the dots, but oh well, such is life. Don't want to be too close together. Well, yes, I do actually want this to be symmetrical. Like, I drew it symmetrically so that's the way I could do this, so... It might seem a little bit silly to redo it when I forgot that I did that, but this will make it so when I need to mirror things that it'll be a little bit easier and I won't have to redo a bunch of deformations. I can just mirror them properly, and that's a lot easier to do when you have a symmetrical mesh. Straighten out these triangles. But the good news is that now that I have realized it, it should take about half the time since I only have to mesh half of it. Alright. And now I can clean up all these triangles for real. See, symmetry is nice. Just gets it on both sides for me so I don't have to go all the way around. Okay, code is done. Let's collapse it. Now we've done these three. So it looks like we're doing an arm now. Okay, if I recall correctly, the top part is symmetrical. So I may just be able to copy this over to the other side when the time comes. It looks like we're starting things off with the basic 2-line structure. Huzzah. Something easy. And I don't think a lot of the arm is going to be that easy. Because I think there's going to be a lot of detailed meshes in it. So I want to get a lot of the folds in the shirt done properly. So this is in 2 pieces, so I'm going to do the mesh in 2 pieces as well. So we'll finish going down this side, cap it off, and then start again down here. Rather than continue the structure on air. This will let me move both of these a little bit more independently too. Just need to make sure that they are in no way connected. I kind of want to straighten out those triangles a little bit too. They got a little bit crooked. Let's make them nice. There we go. That's a bit better. That should be good there. Now for the big one. Do I feel like doing a big one right now? I think I'll skip it. Let's do some small ones. You don't need a mesh. Okay. We're gonna take a break from big ones for a bit. Probably do the big one tomorrow. This one will just go all the way around and have some extra details to handle this shadow over here. This way I can move that shadow around very nicely. That's the hope anyway. But I've had good luck with stuff like this. I'm gonna go do the outside first this time. Because it doesn't really matter if I do the outside or the inside first. I gotta do them both. I can do what I want. And right now I feel like doing the outside. I'm glad I got the coat done today. That was definitely one of the more daunting areas. I think that probably is the area with the highest separation. Just lots and lots of little pieces. And lots of ground to cover. But now it's done. It feels good. We can move on to the next adventure. Which looks like it's going to be the shirt. I'm not too afraid of the shirt. I'm a little afraid of the skirt. But I'm not too afraid of the shirt. I don't think the shirt's going to be that bad. It'll definitely have its own challenges, like every part does. But I don't expect this area to be too nasty to me. Just checking around the edge as always, and I think that's good. Lower is going to be big. So let's not do a big sleeve today. Let's save the sleeves for tomorrow. I think I'll finish up the hand, and that'll probably be where I stop for today. My throat's a little bit on the sore side, so I don't want to talk too much. So here I'm kind of treating it like two pieces. We have the skin part and the cloth part. So I'm putting a line around the barrier there. Just so this way I can control how that moves nice and easily as well. You can see I'm going to treat this line like a two-line structure. And this should let me move it very nicely. That's always the goal with the meshes, is just make it so it doesn't get all crunching all over itself and a bunch of other nasty stuff. Keep everything nice and pretty. Looks like for the cloth part, that's the only part that I really care about. I'm gonna put a few around the knuckles here. So hopefully they move nice too. Okay, I think that should be good. With what I plan to do with the fingers, I probably don't need much of a mesh at all on these. But I'll give them at least a basic one. It's like a mesh like this doesn't take too much effort. And I think it'll let me move them a little bit later. Get a little bit of finger movement with the arms. Because it's funny, typically when the way I see people do hand rigging is you treat them just like physics objects. They just move them with physics instead of with actual motion. It's like we're getting to the point where hand tracking is starting to get a bit better, but it's still kind of not great. The technology is definitely improving. Kind of cool that we can do it though. There we go. And it shouldn't take long at all to do that with all the fingers. Just keep it simple here. I think it's important to know where to put your effort. Especially for people like me that try way too hard at everything. So man, does it feel bad when you just try so hard at something and just nothing comes of it. It breaks my heart every time. It's important to know where to put it. Don't waste your time. We have very limited time in this world, and there's so much I want to do, so... Gotta invest into good things. But I think art is one of those good things. Art is pretty great. Highly encourage everyone to find some kind of outlet. It'll just make your life so much better. Even if you're not very good at it. You don't have to be good at it to have a good time. And hey, if you're having a good time and you keep going, you'll probably start getting pretty good at it. That's just how our brains work. Everything is really hard at the beginning, but then you just do it over and over and over again and you learn. The brain adapts, it figures things out. Like, look, brains can be pretty dumb sometimes, but they can also be pretty incredible. Just gotta give them a shot. Believe in what you can do. There we go. I definitely could not draw like this 10 years ago. But I can now. Because I kept doing the thing. Kept trying until my brain eventually figured it out. Now I can do a lot of things, and it's pretty cool. Makes me very happy. So I'll just go round and round here. And then aside from the two big ones that I think I'm just going to do tomorrow, this area will be done. I'm going to do a little bit in the interior here. There are enough little areas that I think it's worth a little bit of attention. And I think this will be the last one for today. Overall, happy with the progress today. I definitely have the biggest area done, and that's what matters. I wanted to finish that for a couple of days now, but oh, it just ends up bigger than I expected every time. Oops. But today it's finally done for reals. I never have to look at it again. Feels good. Sounds like such a negative way to put it, but it really isn't. It's just finished. It's finished, so now I can move on to something else. Alright. So, I think that'll be everything for today. Still just gotta do the last couple things here, and not only have we finished the code, but we finished most of the right arm too. And we can get into the left arm. Heck yeah. Alright, well thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me on Twitter or Instagram and I'll take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.